West Creek basically crosses James Street, right? Most of the time West Creek is like a trickle about this big. I'm often at the PCYC with one of my daughters who does some training there, and I'm often using that road. Now on the day of the floods, I was actually on that bridge really close to that water coming through. I had a shift at work. I was taking one child somewhere else about an hour or two before, and my car wouldn't start. This is, I've got a Subi-Doo, it doesn't ever not start, you know, and this is the first time it wouldn't. The battery, well, I think it was just so much moisture was in the air that perhaps it was affecting the points. Anyway, I'd had RACQ out that morning and had the car idling in the driveway for an hour, so I was really worried. I didn't know, but I had to get to work, of course, as you do. So I tried getting across streets further up towards my place near Centenary Heights to get towards West Street. I couldn't cross any, and then I thought, well, James Street will be good, it's a main road. not quite so. And then once you were in traffic, there was nothing you could do. You had to sort of go with that traffic. So we were going across James Street, right across West Street there. Anderson's is on this place, there's PCYC across that bridge. And this car, and the water was coming up. It was sort of like across the bridge already at this stage. There was so much traffic going through. This car in front of me stopped and was like, oh, no, you can't stop, you're gonna move. You know, I thought if I stopped my car, I would conk out. And I was worried about just being on the bridge, being an inconvenience. It wasn't until after my shift at work that I actually realised how much water came through. So it was really quite close. And so yeah, I was interested in doing Anderson's. They're on one side of West Creek, PCYC is on the other. And basically just, you know, the creek as it came down, the most amazing thing was it went from this trickle in a gully to a metre high at the business. So that's about this high, and the water's about this high at that stage. They were inside the store holding a big board trying to stop the windows breaking. Then someone saw another wave coming, they just went, we're going. And they went upstairs and to a higher level inside their warehouse, but they basically lost their whole showroom. So I was really interested. They lost a couple of cars too, the work bus, two of the staff cars. So I was really interested to show how, I still can't do it, can I? How high, oh thanks. How high the water went. See, here's Anderson's over here. Here's this big gully, and all of that was completely covered in water. So it was one of those really initial start of the city where that water came through and crashed through. So my design is basically the freakiness of how high that water was. Here's my design here, to put the flood marker, because like as soon as I saw where they wanted it, which is outside their front doors, it's a really great spot. I'm at PCYC going, look at that, there's a light on it at night. It's a really great spot. Choice. So in the end I wanted to put a line across to show where the water went up to, so that will, you know, determine how the picture's actually put down. I too sort of thought, well, if the little square QR, the QR sign is up the top, I thought that would be quite high, because this line actually needs to be round about a metre off the ground. So at the moment I've got like the bottom section is 25. It's a little hard to see this, sorry guys. Let's go to the back one. But I've coloured it in paint box just to get a bit of a clue. So we've got the building here. This actual spot here is where the mosaic will go. So if someone was looking at the mosaic, they would be able to, from these pillars, say, okay, well I'm standing here and the water's here, and can look around at this great expanse and see how much water actually came through. Okay, in here too I've got like the bus from the business, Susie Jordan's car. Susie Jordan was extremely helpful, she was really great. They have supplied a lot of tiles, I believe, as well. And she's pretty fine about it. I said, oh, do you need any counselling? She's like, we were so there. And that's her blue Subaru Forester in front. There was also a container that was swept away from PCYC. So that's green with the Melco yellow, you know, so that'll be easily identified. I needed to check that actually at one point because I couldn't find it anywhere on a YouTube video. Because I said, there's one at Jellicoe Street, and she said, yeah, that was it actually. Ended up way down there. Because I didn't want someone to come by later and go, you know, I was here and that wasn't. I thought maybe it would have been this truck that also got knocked down. So really it's basically this bridge showing here, so you can see that the top parts of the bridge are there, so you know that that's a road at James Street. Right up here we've got the clouds, and I really wanted to stress how the rain was just so constant that day. Like that particular day, it bucketed for like 3 hours straight. I knew this because I was going, oh, maybe I'll get to work, it'll be all right. And it just didn't stop that whole time. So this up through here, I've got the rain. I acquired bucket loads of glass from a Telstra phone booth, which is really great. It's 8 mil wide, so it's compatible with a lot of tile that I can use and raise some others up. And it's really, you know, over here we've got the hospital at the back. The blue in the front there is the, I think they're a lighting place or something like that. So
Ideal lighting.
Is it?
Yeah. Across the road.
And some trees and stuff like that. So I've tried to keep it reasonably limited palette with blues and greens and browns and greys, so contrasting the buildings which are quite straight to this constant turmoil, which was the flood water coming through. And that's about it, really. Is there anything else I didn't say? No? It's okay. Susie Jordan's great.
Where are you going to put the QR code?
Oh, it's down here. See, there's a little grey thing down there. I thought, and that way too, you know, it sort of leads around in this sort of vague sort of shape, because that was this water coming through. So it takes you to the QR tile, so you know you can do that. And yeah, basically the flood line just goes straight through the whole picture, so you can sort of come back to reality of here was the water, here am I standing. Put yourself into the picture. That's it. I've never done a mosaic before, but if you know any of my art, I stick together tiny bits of wood. It is mosaic, isn't it? It's the same. It's the same sort of deal. I've never made it, but I figured.
How hard can it be?
No, I've talked to people, and I sat there once while somebody else mosaicked the table, and people want to stuck on the it's really about putting those lines and colours together.